Hey everybody, Old School Nerd here. It is Thursday, May 9th. It is pouring rain outside, and there is nothing else I'd rather do than record a reaction for you guys. Saw this on Tyrone Magnus's channel that he did this. I haven't seen his reaction because if I saw the reaction, then I wouldn't be able to react to it. And the last time I saw this group of people do a remastering of a Star Wars battle, it blew my mind. I saw a few some stuff on Twitter about it. A few people are talking about it. This is it's called Star Wars Reimagined. It's put together by Fixin' to Post It or Fixin' to Post. It's a YouTube channel. Check them out. If it's FXITIN Post. They do a lot of remastering stuff. They launched this a few days ago. I think it was yesterday they launched it, and it's already got over 2 million views. So everyone's looking at this thing. Apparently, after Star Wars Rogue One came out and people got to see a more aggressive, less slow Darth Vader, they got to see a Darth Vader who could fight 10 people at the same time. And a lot of that has to do with when Star Wars Episode 4 through 6 came out. You're talking about the 70s and early 80s. So the CGI and the technology to do the amazing Jedi Force-driven Sith-style combat didn't exist. So they had to kind of do it what they could. And it shows. It shows. Now, don't get me wrong. The battle for in Return of the Jedi between Luke and Vader, and of course Luke and Vader in Empire Strikes Back was great, but a lot of it was camera angles, close up, movement, quick movements, to where they could fool us into the aura of this huge battle. And then whenever you see Episode 1, 2, 3 in the prequels, the technology did exist. So you have these amazing battles between, of course, Darth Maul, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon Jinn in Episode 1, and it progressed throughout. But the biggest thing that all of us as Star Wars fans struggled with was the fact that we never really got to see Vader like that. So to see Vader do his introduction and that fight down the hallway to get the Death Star plans in Rogue One, just everyone was so excited. Because someone finally brought Vader into that realm of real Jedi combat where we could see it, with the helmet, the cape, the whole 9 yards, not just as as Anakin. So they have redone. Apparently, this is a redo of the battle scene in Episode 4 between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Elder Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader, the rematch from Episode 3, Return of the Sith. So we're going to watch this real quick, and then I'm going to give my, comment on it. I'm really looking forward to this. So we're going to switch our screen real quick, and we're going to go into it right now. This is Star Wars SC38 Remastered, and let's do it. All right. Looks good.
That's no moon. It's a space station. It's too big to be a space station. Very bad.
Preamble talk.
This microbeam that's pulling us in.
I sense something. Presence I've not felt since.
He says he's found the main controls to the power beam.
Just telling the story.
I want to go
Your
with you.
destiny lies along a different path. The Force will be with you always.
Obi-Wan is here. I must face him alone.
Okay, so here we are. It's right before the battle. Oh, here he is. Alec Guinness as Ben Kenobi. The amazing Alec Guinness. This is new. Oh! Just like Rogue One. Oh, it's on. It's on. Stare down.
Our long-awaited meeting has come at last. The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
It's a blend of both.
Master of evil, gods.
Oh!
Your powers are weak, old man.
What?
You can't win, Darth. If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Then I will show you the true nature of the Force.
Oh, nice. What? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's just segueing through the movie. It's awesome. Oh my god.
Are you safe? For the moment.
That is so
The
fast.
main hangar across the ship.
It looks so real.
Come on.
It looks so real.
It's out.
And they're just playing the whole movie as part of it. It's great.
Certainly has courage.
What good will it do us if he gets himself killed? Come on.
Carrie Fisher. Oh!
There is no escape.
Oh! What? Oh! Holy crap! Wow!
Didn't we just leave this party? What kept you?
We are running some old friends.
Is the ship all right? Seems okay if we can get to it. Just hope the old man got the tractor beam out of commission. Now's our chance. Go.
Come on, R2. We're going.
What?
Man?
Oh. Episode 3. Love the music.
Now you will die.
That was perfect.
Run, go, run!
Kenobi.
Oh, nice. Wow. Man, that's everything I ever wanted. That is everything I ever wanted in Star Wars right there. And,
You must not lose
and
sight.
it was everything I ever wanted in Star Wars, and Disney didn't make it. Lucasfilm didn't make it. It was some other company that did it with CGI. Okay, real quick, I want to go back. Let's take a look at that.
Struggle that
Let's take.
consumes us all.
That's some stupid playover stuff. Hold on. I want to go back real quick, and I want to go through it with no sound and stop it just to give some kind of thought process to what we're seeing. Okay, so let's go back to it real quick. Let me full screen it here. Let's take a look. It's playing through now. It's playing through the playthrough. Okay.
Rise along a different path. Force will be with you.
I'm gonna bring the volume down a little bit.
I must face him alone.
I love how they played the whole. They just put the whole thing in, like it's a small tale within the tale. Technically, if you've never seen this, and it is iconic for Star Wars people, this is us. But if you've never seen it, you could watch this and see the story of two people and a showdown, and it kind of gives a little bit of the story with it. So it's not just a fight, just to put a fight on there, which I like. This is new. I like this. He's walking quick. Okay, real quick. I want to go back and look at something real quick. Okay, whoa. Watch this shot. They changed it. If you go back and watch episode 4, this part right here actually is covered with a little pin on it. It doesn't have a hole for an emitter. They went back and changed this. This has been altered a little bit. So let's keep going. It's a good alteration though, because then it makes it look better. I love the walk. It's the badass walk right there. Okay. It's kind of weird because this one's silver, the other one was black. Have you noticed that? Okay, that is awesome. That's good stuff. That is great stuff. Okay. The force pull. I think the reason why I like it so much is because Obi-Wan pulls it with his hand. And there's a reason for that, is because Jedi do not abuse the Force. They flow with it. So they're not going to use the Force to their own means. They're only going to use the Force for defense or for the betterment of life. Whereas when Vader uses the Force to pull his lightsaber from his belt so he doesn't have to reach, that's an abuse of Force. He's taking a shortcut. He's literally forcing the Force, or forcing the Force to his will. So instead of going out of his way to pull it, he's just using it because the Force to him is a tool. The Force is something he can manipulate versus, something that he needs to coexist with. So I thought it was kind of a cool way. Vader doesn't have to do it, but the fact that he does it just shows that relationship between how the light lives within the balance of the Force, or lives within the good side, light side of the Force, and the dark side will literally use the Force as a tool to its own ends, even in something as simple as drawing your weapon. So they didn't do a great job right here with the Ben Kenobi. Let me back it up here. Right here, it's a quick. Okay, they didn't do a great job with this compared to all the other jobs, but this is just a small shot. This is like 2 seconds worth of shot, and the amount of work they put into this, I'm gonna let that go. With everything else they did in this coming up, that's nothing. Iconic look for Alec Guinness. This is I don't like the shadowing around him. You could tell that it's not done well. Oh, come on. Okay, straight up, just want to point this out for those who have never noticed. That is one hell of a fupa codpiece right there. All right? That's not a codpiece. That covers his whole fupa. I mean, that is crazy. All right. The walk.
Our long-awaited meeting has come at last. The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but...
The voice is a little different because you could tell James Earl Jones in the time area, the first part where he talks about the meeting, and then to this is the original cut of the sound from 1976, which is great.
Now I am the master.
Only a master of evil, God.
Okay, this is where it just goes ape crap right here. It's so quick. It's not reckless, but it's...
Your powers are weak, old man.
Okay, my favorite part about this battle right here is they actually templated his face, Alec Guinness's face over this in CGI, which is great. This is actually a picture from the movie, just the way he's looking, just a snap, and they put it there. Okay, here's the thing that gets me. If you watch episode 3, obviously Obi-Wan has Anakin's number the whole fight. Like, he's way more powerful. In this battle, you could tell that Obi-Wan has aged. He's a much older man. Vader has much more strength and power, not only from his ability with the Force, but the fact that he is technically an android, so mechanically he's stronger. Plus he's being very aggressive. You notice the battle styles. For those of you who love Game of Thrones, Arya's battle style is like water. Obi-Wan here is doing a really good job of that. The wushu, oriental balancing of using someone's power against them. So as you'll see him move away from strikes and use the momentum to clear his way, very defensive, because he knows he can't go strength for strength with Vader. We're going to see that later in this fight, which is just amazing.
You can't win, Darth. If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Then I will show you the true nature of the Force.
This right here is probably my second favorite part of the whole video. When he slices open the what appears to be drum, and the drum has got stuff in it, and it explodes with fire. Vader just comes straight through it. Even though Obi-Wan you could tell that he didn't intend to use the objects to hurt Obi-Wan, but the fact that Obi-Wan would have to block them, and by doing so gave an explosion, which gave Vader a reason to jump through. He's on fire, doesn't care, he goes through it, just swinging like a madman. And Obi-Wan right here is just spinning through, deflecting right here, counterattacks, the spinning through, the stabs. Now, also, this is how you know that the people who did this are Star Wars people. Not Star Wars Disney people, not Star Wars old people. These people have read the Legacy canon. The reason why you know that is because now you see in these Star Wars battles a lot more stabbing. When you follow through with a stab, back in episode 4, 5, 6, all of the battles were slashing battles. And a lot of that was due to the technology limitations and the battle style that they were using. You see a lot more stabbing. The stabbing really became evident in the lore with the novel series. You'll see a lot of the different moves they're showing here. You'll see that in Star Wars Rebels, the cartoon show. You'll see it in all the different stuff that came up after the original trilogy. And even you don't see as much of the new stuff in 1, 2, and 3 because one of the things George Lucas had to understand, and I know he had to have known this, and this is why the reason why you see it is, other than Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn fighting Darth Maul, do you see any innovative fighting styles? Because there's no way that they can do all this crazy stuff in 1, 2, and 3 when they've done 4, 5, and 6. And 4, 5, and 6, your super bad guy Vader can just slash and hack. So I understand they were limited. In this, there's no limitations. They're going all out. I love it. It's fast. I love the segue here with the story. We're going to move through this. Alright, here we go. The fight in the hallway. Okay, I want to bring this up. It has nothing to do with this video. But I've said this before in previous videos when I talked about some of my Star Wars reactions to trailers, is lightsabers, okay? I, to this day, do not believe, this is just me, hello, Chewie. It's my dog, Chewie. I do not believe that Kylo Ren's lightsaber does that sparkling, crackling thing because it's more powerful. I think it's flawed. I think it's flawed, and this is why I think that. These lightsabers are into the bulkheads, sliding through bulkheads like butter, okay? Because they're proper lightsabers with proper kyber crystals properly focused and everything else. It just seems to me like Kylo Ren's has that discharge of the pauldrons and the discharge, because I think he's using a imperfect kyber crystal that he had to synthesize to make the red. The reason why I say that, and it's just my personal opinion, the reason why I think that is, if you look at episode 7, 8, 9, when Kylo Ren attacks a bulkhead in his own starship with his lightsaber, he's not cutting through it. He's slashing and scarring it, but his lightsaber is not going through it. Have you noticed that? Because it's not that powerful. In episode 7, when he's pissed off and he's swinging at the wall, he's just scarring the wall, but his lightsaber isn't slicing through it like butter. Not like these are. But then whenever he faces Rey at the end of 7, she has Luke's old lightsaber, which is like these two with a proper crystal, properly focused, and a smooth beam. He slashes at trees and he scars them and burns them. She flashes through trees and is cutting through trees this big. I believe that Kylo Ren's lightsaber is not crackling because it's better. It's crackling because it's imperfect. And it's another reason why it can't slice very well through stuff. It looks good, but I think it's part of his fractured, it's a symbol of his fractured spirit. He's still very much conflicted. So that's just thought I'd throw that in there. I know it takes away from this thing, but let's go back to it. I just saw them slicing through these bulkheads so effortlessly, like a true lightsaber, and thought, well, there you go. So here we go.
There is no escape.
Okay, real quick. So Obi-Wan hits him in the spalder, right? In the pauldron right here. And I swear, I think Vader just headbutted Obi-Wan. He headbutts him, then he punches him, not once, but backfists him. Throws him through the wall to the back of the wall, okay? Puts a divot in the bulkhead. Favorite move coming up. Throws it, stabs, plays a little limbo. Great scene. That 10 seconds right there says, you know what? Forget your rules. Forget what you think. If I could do it, this is what I would do. If I had unlimited force power, I'd be throwing my weapon, making it slice. That is stuff you see a lot in the old novels and even some of the new novels. Because in the novels, they'll talk about how they'll throw a weapon and use the force to maneuver it as it comes back and stuff. So you can't really show that in movies, especially in the original trilogy, 4, 5, 6, where you just don't have the technology to do that. 1, 2, 3, they were trying to stifle the amount of swordplay because then it wouldn't look right when you going in. If you're watching the movies 1 through 6, wouldn't make any sense. 7, 8, 9, your only people that are actually using lightsabers is a girl who's never touched one and an impetuous little brat boy who can't get his crap together and has a dumpy sword. Just saying. Just putting that out there. Okay, so let's go on. These are two masters fighting here. Sith High Lord, and Jedi Master fighting it out. That's the level you're expecting here. And they did a good job with it too. We're going to move forward on this to this battle part. I love this part. They're just getting really close. They're keeping it together. It's just great. It's great. It's just... I love it. I just love it.
Come on, R2, we're going.
Love that. I love how they put the homage where they're touching, where he touches and spins. If you remember in episode 4, they did a lot of that during their battle because they didn't know what to do with the poly swords that they were playing with. They were playing with polyurethane sticks, so they're sitting there doing this twiddle thing. If you watch on the episode 4, if you watch the movie, they do it. They put an homage of it in there. Just that quick little thing that Vader did to spin it. It's pretty cool. cuts him. Okay, here's the thing. Vader force pushes Obi-Wan, throws him down the hall, across the corridor, into the bulkhead, bends the bulkhead in, and knocks Obi-Wan's breath out. Obi-Wan does a desperation force push on Vader. He goes back 12 feet, keeps his balance, flows back, stops himself, and just stands there like, is that all you got? And just looks at him like, what? At this point, good part of the storytelling says Obi-Wan realizes, I can't win. This is the callbacks to episode 3, which is great. Love this. I loved you, yeah. You can tell he's going in for his last stand, but then he sees his glimmer of hope, the part that he can do. He passes on his essence to Luke by looking at him, smiling. Classic Alec Guinness. Here we come. Love this. Okay, love that. The technology was there for the remakes when George Lucas redid the remakes in the 90s. Why he didn't do this? Okay, it's a subtle thing, but if we look at it, watch. See how it passes through? Okay. On both of the remakes, the sword goes through the robe doesn't get damaged, and he disappears. So you don't know what the hell's going on. Just by doing it like this, two things. They put the lightsaber floating because he disappears. He disappears before the lightsaber hits him. Because when the lightsaber goes through the cloak, you can see it sear through the cloak, but it has that sound when you take a blanket or a sheet and you flip it or pop it. It's that cloth feel. It just shows that he's just cutting cloth because Ben's already gone. Just by doing those two things, that sound effect, they tell a story, a part of the story right there in a way that Disney and Lucasfilm haven't done since 1977. Just with a one sound effect, they're able to tell you that Ben is not in there anymore. He's already gone. He was never struck down by Vader. He went into the Force before the lightsaber hit. Great storytelling. Love that. Love it. Classic. Still in there, even though he knows he's not.
Run, run.
Kenobi.
And then collects the lightsaber. Love that. You were the chosen one. Cool. All right, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so real quick, I don't really know. It says, I think he says Kenobi when he looks up at the wall. Kenobi, or could it be? He says something like that. I didn't really catch it. I'm sure someone will let me know what it is. I love the way it's segueing. I love the entire thing. Kudos to these people. They made probably the best lightsaber battle, and they made it with a battle that already exists, and they made it better. And even if you don't know these characters, they did both of them justice. They made the elder statesman, Alec Guinness's Obi-Wan Kenobi, look as strong in the twilight of his life as much as, Ewan McGregor did in the prime of Kenobi's role. And this made Vader look as bad and awesome as he should always have been. This is not a knock against Lucasfilm. When they made episode 4, 5, and 6, what you see on the screen is cutting edge for 1977, 82, and 84, or 86. That was like cutting edge stuff. But what we can do now is give, kind of like what Rogue One did, gave you a hint of what Vader really was. This kind of circles it in. So as far as storytelling, I think they did an amazing job. They really, really did. The nuances, the sound effects, adding a little bit of dialogue that didn't exist before to kind of close the loops. The fight was amazing. There were a few issues with some of the rendering for Obi-Wan Kenobi's face, but overall, what do you want? When they can do that with whatever budget they have versus Disney's budget, and I would watch a movie made like that over anything they're putting out in Lucasfilm / Disney for the foreseeable future, unless they turn it around. If Disney's smart, they'd find these people and say, "You're in charge." They're not going to do that, but if they did, I'd be pretty excited. So SC38 reimagined, amazing job, awesome. Put your comments down below. We're gonna be doing some more reactions here tonight, and we hope to see you soon. Catch you guys later.